Hey, welcome to another video. In this video, we will talk about Shopify theme sections and schema. So in this video, you will learn how all these sections are generated, how all these settings are put together, and where the data for this setting will be stored. So let's give it a try before we just check the code. Here we have a section called announcement bar, which our down theme already have it. We have a section called header. We have a section called image banner. And if you click on any of them, it will have a setting in here. For example, this announcement bar does not have any setting, but if you click on the header, it has a lot of settings in here. For example, you can upload a logo, you can change the size of the logo, you can position it anywhere you want. All of them are settings in these sections. And if you check the announcement bar, inside this one you can add more blocks, and blocks will come inside the section. If you check the documentation on Shopify, this is where you find it. You go to overview. In here they will explain what is section and what is a schema. Section is this block, and inside the section you can have blocks, as many blocks as you want. Currently there are some limits, like you can have only 16 blocks inside one section. So if I come back to my theme in here, I can change, like add more blocks in here. What is good about this, it is going to add repeated data in here. Why it is useful, sometimes people put in here free shipping to this part of the country, or free shipping over this threshold, or they put a discount code in here. This is just an example, but for now I'm going to just undo all the changes I have done in here. This is one section, this is another section, and these are rest of the sections. You can add more dynamic sections in here. When you add this data, it will be stored inside the index.json. So if I open my theme in here, inside the templates, we have all this template called JSON 404, article, blog, cart, collection, and this is the index. Index.json will save all the data that you put in here. For example, if you have this rich text, all this text here, this is the talk about your brand, all this more information in here, all of them will be stored inside this JSON file in your theme, index.json. So if you come here and add more of this, so for example you add an image banner in here, it will add another data to this JSON file in here, and it will read those data for you, it will render it. So where this data is coming, like where you put the structure, that structure will be put inside the section schema. So let's give it a try and see where are those schema. And as I explained here, you have this announcement bar. Let's check out the code behind the announcement bar. That way you will understand it better. So I'll open the announcement bar in here, and this is the code for the announcement bar. Not a lot of code, but I will explain in here. Here you will put all your HTML code. You can remove for now all of this, but I'm not going to remove it. So here's the thing. If you scroll down, this is the schema. The schema tag is a liquid tag that will contain an object. This object will be the structure of this section, the structure for all those settings. So if you see that the name, this is going to be the name, and all this text is inside the translation. If you want to find out what is the name, I don't know why Shopify make it too complicated to go inside the translation, but you can find it here. Scrolling down, this is the, let me find the default one. It is not the default because these are the other languages. I don't want to go, we should find the English version of it. This is the EN, yes, the default. If you check, the same thing that go here, it says go to translation, go to sections, go to announcement bar, get the name and display it in here. So this is going to be announcement bar dot name. It is called announcement bar. You can directly name it in here. I don't know if this is a requirement for Shopify to put it in a translation for the themes that you submit, but I normally call it announcement bar, something like this. This is much shorter. You can even limit how many blocks you can have inside it. If you put it 3, you cannot add more than 3 blocks inside. And these are the blocks. Currently we have one called announcement bar. When you add in here, it is going to add that for you in here. Now this is again, the name will be here. again it is stored inside this schema file. Now the thing that you have to understand it, where all this, like how do you put all these settings. Inside these settings you can have a text field, you can have a select box, you can have a color option, you can have an image picker. All of this will be rendered like a setting inside the Shopify theme customizer. So you have to understand how you put all those data. If you come to the schema will have a type, you have the settings. Inside the setting you will have different options. So if you click on the setting, for example, if you want to have a text field, you can give it a text and give it a unique ID, also a label, and it will render a text input like this. This will be the label and this will be the default value for that. This is called a schema. A schema is what all this setting is about. And if you want to add more setting, you can add all the settings in here. If you want to access those settings, you just come to your HTML block in here. Using the section dot blocks you can access. Since this announcement bar does not have any setting, you can see it only have blocks, then you don't need to use the section setting in here, but we can add some setting. Now I will comment, I will undo all these changes that I have in here. I will save it. Let's give it a try and add some settings. So I'll open terminal, I will run the Shopify theme serve. Now it should serve my theme on the development environment. Might take some time, but this is basically what you do. Also, when you do this, it is going to run this on a local host. This is the theme customizer, which we can open. Let's click on this. This is where it will open. I'm going to close the other one. Probably we don't need this. This is the theme customizer. Okay, let's add a setting to this announcement bar. As I said, currently it does not have any setting. So we will come to the schema. Above the block or anywhere, like after the blocks, you can call it settings, and settings is going to be an array. Now inside the setting you will have objects, different objects. For example, if I want to add a text field, just write a text field, and let me just autocomplete because I have a snippet. I am also using an extension, so after like adding this, I will show you my Chrome extensions also. So here we have a type of text field. Give it an ID, I will give it a title, and how about the label? I will give it also label of a title, and with this is the default value, information and placeholder. I will remove it for now, just cleaning up a little bit. Now let's save it. Once you save, it should automatically upload it to the Shopify. It should sync it. Now let's refresh, and you should see a setting in here. If we did everything correctly, we refresh our theme. Here is the title. This is how easy it is. The same thing you can add, let's say a color picker or an image. For example, if I write image picker in here, this type is very important. The type should match the Shopify requirements. So this is image picker. You cannot have your own, like you cannot say file picker. You cannot upload files in here, but this is unique. So if I call it, I give it an ID of image, and let's call it test image. I'm going to clean up. We should save it. Now the ID is used to be accessed in here. You can access that image in here. For now, let's come back. Let's refresh the page and see if we can access it, the image picker in here. Yes, this is the image picker. If I put a test title, this is my title, and let's pick an image also. Let's pick this logo that we uploaded long time. So this is a logo that we have in here. Now how do you display it in here? It is really easy. Now I want to show you how you can access this data that you have in here inside your HTML. So above all this is how you display it. If you want to print the title, just use these brackets, and this is how you output in Liquid. And in here you can say section, which refer to this file that you have, dot settings, which refer to the object that you have in here, and then the ID of it, ID of any of this field. If I call it title, it is going to output the title in here for me. Now let's render the image also. So I'm going to write image in here, an image tag, and inside this one it is going to give us a URL. So we are going to output the image. let's say that is the logo. Again, you can say section dot settings dot image. We called it image, right? For now, let's just put it this way. Okay, I'm not going to do anything. Is this going to output the URL? Let's check out. Now if I refresh it, like, let's save it first. It is displaying the title but no image. Okay, let's refresh. You might think like if refreshing this will work, but it is not, because when you are outputting this image is not a URL in here. So you have to apply a filter on this. In the last video we talked about Shopify has some filter. There is a filter called img URL, which give you an image URL. Now it accepts one parameter in here, which is optional. You can give it a size. If you give it a medium, it will give you a medium size. But if you put a master in here, it will give you the actual size of the image. Or you can specify the height and width of it. For example, if you have 400x 300, it is going to crop that image for you in that dimensions. For now, let's put it as a 400. Now we will remove one of the pipes. So this is the image filter. It should extract the URL out of this image and display it for us. If I come here, this is the local host that is running. If I refresh it, it is displaying the logo in here and also the title here. This is side by side, by the way, so it is not that the logo is at the top. So this is basically how section and schema work, how you can access the data and where those data will be saved. As soon as you create all the sections that you have in here, this data will be saved inside the JSON file. Now that is it for this video. In the next video we are going to customize announcement bar, add some more option. We will make use of Tailwind CSS with some more practical example. I hope this video has been informative and you learn how schema and section work, and I will see you in the next video.